Oral sex is often considered a safe practice, but this perception can hide serious risks that directly affect your health. What few people know is that problems such as infections, viruses, and even serious diseases can arise from this practice. Especially when proper precautions are ignored, this lack of attention can lead to silent consequences that often only appear when the issue has already advanced. My name is Marta Ruiz. I'm a urologist, and in this video, I want to clarify how practice as many consider harmless can have a significant impact on health. I'll also explain simple and effective measures you can adopt to protect yourself without compromising your intimacy and well-being. Prevention has never been more necessary. Before we continue, check if you're already subscribed to the channel to keep up with our videos featuring tips on health and sexual education. If you enjoyed the content, leave a like. It helps us reach more people. Comment 1 if you found the topic relevant, or 0 if not so. We can improve and provide content that better meets your expectations. Many patients don't consider oral sex a risky practice when thinking about their sexual lives. It's as if this part of intimacy were a safe zone, free from complications. However, this perception is far from the truth. Oral sex also exposes the body to a range of diseases that often go unnoticed, even by the most cautious individuals. Before diving into the 5 main conditions that can arise from this practice, let's take a step back to understand what happens in the mouth and throat, known as the oral cavity and oral pharynx. These areas have a natural flora, a collection of bacteria that coexist peacefully with the body, aiding digestion and performing essential functions. It's a delicate balance where everything works as it should. The problem begins when this balance is disrupted. Bacteria can grow uncontrollably, and new agents can invade. The area pathogens, such as the herpes virus or HPV, for example, are not part of this natural flora, but can settle and cause serious health problems. Now think about the urethra. This small canal responsible for transporting urine from the bladder to the outside of the body is normally sterile, meaning it doesn't have bacteria, fungi, or germs. However, it can easily become contaminated during unprotected oral sex to help you achieve a more fulfilling and balanced sexual life. I've developed the digital book, Rediscovering Intimacy, Healthy Sexuality After 60. In this material, I share practical and valuable tips to strengthen your relationship, overcoming emotional and physical challenges with solutions that reignite passion and connection in marriage. Check the pinned comment to get your copy. Take this opportunity to transform your love and emotional life with this in mind. Let's explore the 5 most common diseases associated with this practice. Pay close attention, because this information could make a huge difference to your health. First disease, HPV. The human papillomavirus, or HPV, is one of the main agents responsible for infections transmitted through intimate contact. It has over 200 subtypes, and while not all are dangerous, some have a significant impact on health, being associated with serious diseases such as oropharyngeal cancer, penile cancer, and cervical cancer in women. In the case of the oral cavity, lesions caused by HPV are often silent, appearing as warts or almost imperceptible changes. This is precisely why the virus can go unnoticed for a long time. When oral sex is performed without protection, the risk of HPV transmission increases significantly, exposing both the giver and receiver to the possibility of infection. Additionally, HPV is not only linked to benign lesions, but can also be the starting point for developing ulcers or even malignant diseases, depending on the subtype involved. Another important point is that being a virus transmitted directly through contact with mucous membranes or secretions, its spread is easier than many imagine. This reinforces the need for using condoms, even in practices many believe are safe, such as oral sex. Prevention is the best way to avoid complications that can become much more severe over time. Second disease, oral candidiasis, also known as thrush. Oral candidiasis is a fungal infection that, while seemingly harmless when it occurs in the mouth, can cause more significant issues. Imagine a situation where simple discomfort in the oral cavity turns into a problem for another person after intimate contact. That's how candidiasis can be transmitted during oral sex, affecting the glands, foreskin, and even the urethra. When this happens, the infection can trigger inflammations like balanitis or balanoposthitis. These conditions are marked by very uncomfortable symptoms, such as redness, burning, peeling, and local discomfort. What could have been easily resolved in the mouth with simple treatment can become something more complicated and painful in the genital area. The good news is that these fungal infections generally respond well to treatments with antifungals and, in some cases, corticosteroids or specific antibiotics. However, none of this would be necessary with proper prevention. Using condoms and maintaining good hygiene practices are simple steps that make all the difference. Oral candidiasis serves as a reminder that small precautions can prevent significant discomfort. Third disease, herpes. Let's talk about an issue that often appears without warning and can cause significant discomfort for those who overlook basic care: herpes. There are two main types of this virus, each with its preferences. Type 1 herpes typically appears around the lips, while type 2 targets the genital region under normal conditions. These viruses are not part of the natural flora of the mouth or throat. But here's the key point. If someone has an active cold sore caused by type 1, herpes performing oral sex can transmit the virus directly to the partner's genital area. It's as if the virus changes address, causing sores, discomfort, and all the associated headaches of this infection. The ease of transmission makes herpes a serious concern, even when lesions are small or almost invisible. The virus remains active and ready to spread. This highlights the importance of recognizing the signs and avoiding intimate contact during active outbreaks. Small preventive actions make a big difference in avoiding unnecessary complications and keeping your health in check. Fourth disease, syphilis. Though less common through oral sex, syphilis remains a bacterial infection that should not be ignored. It has very specific signs that often go unnoticed until they develop into a more severe problem. One of the most characteristic manifestations of syphilis is the appearance of an ulcer in the genital region, usually located on the glands or foreskin. This lesion is unique, painless, has raised edges, and a firm base. These details make it easier to identify during a medical consultation. However, even with symptoms that cause no immediate discomfort, the disease is highly contagious and requires attention. The biggest challenge with syphilis is that many people don't associate it with oral sex. This underscores the need to stay alert to any abnormal signs on the body and seek treatment as soon as possible. The good news is that syphilis is treatable when diagnosed in time. However, without proper care, it can lead to serious and long-term complications. Practicing safe habits is always the best choice for protecting your health. Fifth disease, urethritis. Now we arrive at a problem that can cause significant discomfort: urethritis. These are inflammations that occur in the urethra, the canal that carries urine, from the bladder to the outside of the body. Under normal conditions, the urethra is a sterile environment, free of bacteria. However, this balance can be disrupted, leading to problems. The most common symptoms of urethritis include redness, discharge, and a persistent feeling of discomfort. But what causes it? Two agents are often responsible: chlamydia and Gaxcaicus. These germs don't appear on their own. They need a push to reach the urethra. One of the most common transmission methods is through unprotected oral sex. What does this mean in practice? Adopting simple precautions like using condoms can prevent these microorganisms from settling and causing discomfort. No one deserves to endure pain and inconvenience that could have been avoided. That's why staying vigilant and choosing prevention is essential. Taking care of your health is much easier than dealing with the consequences of an infection. How to minimize risks? Protecting yourself during oral sex is simpler than it seems, and a few actions can make all the difference. Avoiding multiple partners, prioritizing stable relationships, and above all, knowing the person you're involved with are important steps. However, if these conditions aren't possible, using condoms is indispensable for safety. Let's think about something simple. Would you share your toothbrush with a stranger? Probably not. So, why ignore basic precautions during such an intimate act? Treating oral sex with the same seriousness as other forms of protection is essential. The goal here isn't to scare, but to raise awareness. Small behavioral changes can prevent major problems in the future. Responsibility doesn't reduce pleasure, it ensures that it comes with peace of mind and health. Make conscious choices and turn simple precautions into permanent habits. Taking care of yourself is also a way of respecting those around you. We conclude this video with an important reflection on how intimate practices like oral sex require more attention than many people think. The risks discussed from HPV to oral candidiasis highlight the importance of adopting simple and effective measures to protect your health and that of those around you. Which of these diseases do you think is the most unknown or overlooked by people? Share your thoughts in the comments. This helps us bring topics that truly make a difference in your life. If you found this content useful, leave a like and help us spread this valuable information. Your support is essential for reaching more people and raising awareness about such important topics. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for our upcoming videos on health and sexual education. Share with friends and family. Information can save lives. See you in the next video.